clearly some lava flow over here pushing into the trees, slowly expanding the footprint of the eruption. We'll see some flames, but no big forest fires. Because this is the rainy side of the island. Tremendous amount of rainfall over here keeps the vegetation very saturated. So a little bit of flame and burning, but no big forest fires. Now, a rule of thumb, the shinier the rock looks at the surface, the newer it is. So especially shiny patches will be areas we'll want to focus on. Those will be recent flow areas. Most of what we see is going to be crusted over, kind of silvery black, but hopefully we'll find some areas where it hasn't quite cooled, where it's still molten, where it's still brighter reddish orange. At 950 degrees Fahrenheit is the approximate temperature at which that transition occurs, where liquid rock cools and becomes solid. Now, most people would look at this area and think destruction. The Hawaiians look at this and they think creation. And that's what it really is. This is Kilauea growing. Lava flows piling up on top of what was there before. The newest rock on the planet cooling and forming. Here's a good little flow out your right door down in the trees where you see the smoke at your 3 o'clock low. Good little spot. Yeah, good little flow out your right. It's when it's down in the trees, you get the shadow from the trees that actually makes it a lot easier to see the lava. Left door and down now. Good little flow area. Certain angles you kind of lose it a bit in the glare of the sun. And then it comes back into view. Oh, there's a nice little flow out our right side too. More of a stream. See it out your right door, you see how it's brighter when it exits the tube, how quickly the surface cools. See it? Yeah. check it off your bucket list, lava. Been there, done that. Start to head away from the eruption area now, off towards the city of Hilo. And from there on to my favorite part of the whole island, what I consider to be the most beautiful part, the Kohala Valleys. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, a small scale, gentle eruption at Kilauea. Very user-friendly if you think about it. In other parts of the world, the volcano erupts, everybody gets out of Dodge, gets away from it. Here, volcano erupts, a lot of people go to it to check it out. Fairly user-friendly. Can't see it just yet, but off in the distance at about our 12 o'clock lies Hilo Bay. That's the major deep water port for the Big Island and the city of Hilo. Just this side of the bay, the Big Island's largest city. We'll pass by Hilo on our way to the valleys. And as we do, we have a decision to make. Now we have lots of fuel on board. No need to stop at Hilo, we can continue on. We always give our guests the option, though, of a pit stop if anyone really needs to use the bathroom. Everybody okay to keep going? Everybody feeling good? Yeah? Okay, fantastic. Then we'll continue on. I'll be getting busy on the radios for a few minutes. I have to start dealing with Hilo's air traffic control. Get a clearance, so next few minutes, just sit back and relax. Enjoy the music. Talk amongst yourselves if you want, and I'll be right back with you.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
starting to see Hilo Bay and Hilo now downhill at about your 2 o'clock. City of Hilo has roughly 50,000 residents. It's the Big Island's largest city. Kona has about 45,000. And between our two cities, we've just accounted for a little more than half of the island's population. Only about 180,000 people living on the Big Island. Again, 8 islands make up the state of Hawaii, and the state population is about 1.5 million. Roughly 2/3 of that population lives on Oahu. Oahu is basically the big city part of the state. Oahu is where you find Honolulu and Waikiki. And Oahu was the natural island for the population to gravitate out here because it has the best deep water harbor in the Hawaiian Islands. So after European discovery was made of the islands, Oahu and Honolulu specifically is where many of the whaling ships and trade ships sailing through the Pacific would gravitate for a break in their journeys. So I got us climbing up to get us above this fog layer, get us into some cleaner air. We get up above it, you got Mauna Loa's summit now at your 9 o'clock. Mauna Kea's at your 11. And up on top of Mauna Kea, you can see a few large white structures, sort of like golf balls or mushrooms. Anybody know what those things are? Nobody knows? Space observatories. Yeah, the Mauna Kea summit's really the best place on Earth for astronomy and astrology. And on top of Mauna Kea are 13 world-class, state-of-the-art observatories and telescopes representing 11 different countries. Now, at your 10 o'clock now, down on the ground, you see a pretty new-looking band of lava rock cutting downhill through the forest. That's the stuff from Mauna Loa's most recent eruption. That's from '84. Narrow band of lava flow, as you can see where the flow ended at your 10 o'clock. You can also see, had it continued flowing a few more miles, where it was headed, right? Would have passed like right off our nose and then down into your right front, directly into the city of Hilo. So the '84 Mauna Loa eruption, that was kind of a close call. Earlier in the flight I talked a bit about the trade winds. The trades, the predominant weather influence in the islands. Those trades, again, almost always generally blowing from east to west. The trades are the reason why you go to any Hawaiian island, you'll find the east side of the island to be windier, cloudier, rainier, and greener than the west side. Weather and moisture usually blown from east to west through the island chain. And so you may hear the terms windward and leeward more frequently used than east and west to describe the islands geographically. Out in front of us and to your right, you're looking at the windward side, the windy, rainy side. Then where we departed from, the Kona Waikoloa side, that's the dry side, the leeward or downwind side of the island. Now, compared to the other Hawaiian islands, there is a greater difference comparing windward to leeward. wet to dry. Bigger difference here on this island than the other Hawaiian islands because the Big Island has the tallest volcanoes. And they present the largest obstacle to the trade wind driven moisture getting up and over from east to west. You can kind of see how that manifests up the hill at your 10 o'clock. You look up towards the summit of Mauna Kea, you can see how it goes from lush and green back again to brown and arid near the summit. So that kind of shows you the wet dry line where clouds that form over here usually will top out. And you see the Mauna Kea summit's almost always above the clouds. And that's one of the reasons why it's so great for astronomy. Usually the observatories and telescopes up on top of Mauna Kea have completely unobstructed views of the stars. So bigger difference comparing windward to leeward on the Big Island, and a greater amount of climate variety here. Than the other Hawaiian islands. Alright, so we're leaving Kilauea behind us. We're leaving the city of Hilo behind us. And we're beginning to fly through a part of the island known as Hamakua. Hamakua, basically the rainy, wet side of Mauna Kea. Hamakua is mostly forest, small gulches and gullies, streams passing through them. Lots and lots of small, beautiful waterfalls as those streams stair-step down the hill and eventually empty into the ocean. And then below you, closer to the coastline, you see a mixture of farmland and cattle ranch land. So more agriculture on the rainy side of the island makes sense. And they're growing different kinds of tropical fruits over here, things like bananas, papayas, and mangoes. They're also growing tropical flowers, macadamia nuts, vegetables, and trees. We'll see some pretty sizable tree farms through Hamakua. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. Yeah, so Hamakua is, fairly diversified farmland and cattle ranch land today. Not too long ago, the area downhill and to your right front used to be mostly sugarcane. Mile after mile of sugarcane back in the mid to late